Alpha with the most missiles.
Engage.
Ready for launch.
Launch ready.
A strong nation needs a strong navy for ensuring peace. Combining power and mobility, the Indian Navy plays a vital role to perfection in all spheres and dimensions of warfare. Be it surface, subsurface, air, and space dimension. Combat readiness at all times is the hallmark of the Indian Navy. It's a multi-dimensional force which has a formidable footprint in the Indian Ocean region. India's location in the Indian Ocean is unique. So is the role of the Indian Navy. The seas are vital for food, natural resources, energy, trade, and transportation. A world-class navy backs the economic aspirations of a resurgent nation. Always on the prowl, never lets down its guard even for a second. India's immediate geostrategic environment is synonymous with the Indian Ocean region, but its influence is carried much beyond, making it truly a blue water navy. The mandate is clear-cut. Maintain stability and security in our area of operations in order to enable and catalyze economic progress and national consolidation. India is now firmly on the path to economic resurgence. Fulfilling the aspirations of a billion-plus population demands unhindered access and usage of the seas around us. With 90% of trade by volume and bulk of our energy imports traversing the seas, maritime security is central to India's overall development and economic well-being. Maintenance of peace in the Indian Ocean region is a key national security imperative. The Indian Navy has the strategic presence in the region, which is key to stability in the region.
The seas around us are gaining newfound importance as each day goes by. And there is no doubt that the current century is the century of the seas. India is essentially a maritime nation with a natural outflow towards the seas, and the country sits astride busy sea lines of communication over which nearly 100,000 ships transit every year. We have vast maritime interests, and the responsibility of protecting these interests falls squarely on the shoulders of men in white uniform, because it is the responsibility of the Indian Navy to ensure that India's maritime interests, which have a vital relationship with the nation's economic growth, are allowed to develop unhindered both in peace and war.
India's maritime interests face myriad challenges. The tasks are cut out. Surveillance and presence to ensure deterrence. Combat readiness for a decisive victory in case of war. Keeping territorial integrity intact, safeguarding national maritime interests. The Indian Navy is a multi-dimensional force, always mission ready. The combat fleet and operational authorities remain focused on their missions and are always ready. Kamov 31 helicopters, INS Vikramaditya symbolizes the Indian Navy's professionalism and capabilities as a credible blue water navy. With induction of INS Chakra nuclear submarine and impending trials of INS Arihant, a new dimension of prolonged underwater sustenance is added. The under-construction Scorpene-class submarines will enhance the conventional deterrence and punch to our underwater capabilities. INS Kolkata and INS Kamorta are the latest additions to the Indian Navy's arsenal. The commissioning of these two ships has showcased our shipbuilding industry's coming of age. INS Kolkata exemplifies our naval might and our indigenous capability to design and build the most potent of warships. With a very large indigenous combat component, INS Kolkata is the new face of the Indian Navy's multi-dimensional surface capability. The ship is packed with the most sophisticated state-of-the-art weapons and sensors, including vertically launched long-range surface-to-air missiles and the BrahMos surface-to-surface missile. India's biggest indigenous warship, the under-construction aircraft carrier Vikrant, would help the Indian Navy match the world's leading navies, also making it one of the few to operate two aircraft carriers globally. In true national spirit, the self-reliance program of the Navy is well entrenched, with significant indigenization of platforms, weapons, sensors and equipment.
The Indian Navy is a multi-dimensional networked force which is combat ready to take on any challenges in the maritime domain in the Indian Ocean region. The blueprint of the future Indian Navy is firmly anchored on self-reliance and indigenization. And currently we have 41 ships and submarines under construction in various public and private shipyards within the country. It is our endeavor to progressively increase the indigenous content so that future warships can be 100% made in India.
It's an ambitious target to induct 5 to 6 ships every year. Aircraft carriers, stealth frigates, destroyers, corvettes, minesweepers, amphibious ships, aircraft and submarines inducted into the Navy will add to its muscle. The Indian Navy remains committed to its vision of modernization with indigenous capacity building. Training is an integral part of enhancing capabilities and knowledge of officers and men who operate these fine machines. The Indian Navy ensures sustained and continuous training to its personnel with state-of-the-art aids such as a ship handling simulator, flight and tactical simulator for helicopters, and a water survival training facility for aircrew, all with the aim of ensuring realistic training. Maritime surveillance is an important part of maritime security. India's coastline is vast, stretching over 7,500 kilometers, and the exclusive economic zone spans a staggering over 2 million square kilometers. The Indian Navy fulfills its mandate to maintain the security of our coast and the exclusive economic zone, or EEZ, with round-the-clock patrols by ships and aircraft. For supremacy at sea, air power is vital. The air-to-air, air-to-surface missiles, onboard fighter jets and anti-submarine helicopter squadrons make a deadly combination. With the induction of P-8I Boeing aircraft, Hawk Advanced Jet Trainer, the plans to induct latest medium-range multi-role helicopters would provide the requisite air superiority to the air arm of the Indian Navy. The Indian Navy has taken a gigantic leap in the domain of space-based communication and intelligence gathering with the launch of Rukmini, India's maiden dedicated defense satellite. It makes networked operations over a wide oceanic region possible. The tactical fleet picture is made available to decision makers ashore with the help of state-of-the-art infrastructure. Each of the ships in the naval fleet would have comprehensive communication between them, facilitated by this satellite. The satellite integrates a variety of warships, submarines, and aircrafts. The advanced multiband GSAT-7 is an advanced communication satellite capable of providing a wide range of communication services. The Indian Navy now joins a select few navies adept in net-centric warfare. Special circumstances demand specialized forces. The Special Operations Unit of the Indian Navy conducts daring operations such as amphibious warfare, counter-terrorism operations, and direct action. They specialize in special reconnaissance, unconventional warfare, hostage rescue, personnel recovery, asymmetric warfare, and counter-proliferation. They also provide the much-needed humanitarian assistance and disaster relief when needed.
The Indian Ocean has emerged as the world's center of gravity in the maritime domain. The Indian Navy has maintained a high operational tempo and displayed its footprint and operational proficiency across the seas. It has been our endeavor to interact with the navies across the world and build bridges of friendships in an order to open up further avenues of cooperation in the maritime domain.
The Indian Navy doesn't operate in isolation. To build Navy-to-Navy cooperation, understanding, and interoperability, the Indian Navy holds military exercises with navies of friendly countries. These coordinated exercises with maritime neighbors strengthen naval cooperation and develop trust and confidence among participant countries.
or woman behind the machine is our most valuable and important asset. It is our endeavor to provide the highest qualities of training and hone their skills, while at the same time providing a clean, healthy and harmonious working and living environment with the aim to run a taut, efficient and a happy Indian Navy.
Provide the much-needed succor as a recompense for the tough life on board ships, submarines and aircraft. A resurgent economy with a young population, India engages with all nations as equals. A befitting partner, the Indian Navy is on a steady course, striving for excellence, with a vision of a taut, effective and a happy Navy. The Indian Navy, ensuring secure seas for a resurgent nation.